What God is trying to teach you in the season of your life. Maybe you're in a season right now where nothing is going the way you planned. You're praying, but you're still waiting. You're trying, but nothing seems to be changing. People are leaving your life, doors are closing, and you might be asking yourself, God, what are you doing? But what if this season isn't about God withholding something from you? What if He's teaching you something you need before He gives you what you've been praying for? Because sometimes God doesn't change your situation immediately. Sometimes He changes you first. And in this video, I want to talk about 5 things God may be teaching you in the season of your life. And I really want you to stay until the end because the last one might completely change how you look at what you're going through right now. Trust Him. The first thing God may be teaching you is to trust. And I know it's easier said than done. It's easy to say I trust God when everything is going according to plan. It's easy to trust Him when the relationship is working. When you have money, when your plans are working out, when you're getting the answers you've been praying for. But what happens when God goes silent? What happens when you pray and nothing changes? What happens when you don't understand what He's doing? That's when trust becomes real. Because trusting God doesn't mean you understand everything He's doing. It means you trust Him even when you don't. Think about this, a child doesn't understand everything their parent does. They don't understand why they're told no. They don't understand why they have to wait. They don't understand why they're being taken somewhere. But they trust their parent. And sometimes we're in a season where God is basically saying, you don't need to know everything, you just need to trust me. You may not understand why that door closed. You may not understand why that person left. You may not understand why that prayer hasn't been answered. But God's silence doesn't mean He's absent. And just because you can't see what He's doing doesn't mean He's not working. Sometimes faith is simply saying, God, I don't understand you, but I trust you anyway. And that type of trust is built in seasons when you don't have all the answers. Number 2, God is teaching you to let go. The second thing God may be trying to teach you is how to let go. And this one hurts. Because sometimes we ask God to bless something He's actually trying to remove from our lives. We hold on to people, we hold on to relationships, we hold on to old versions of ourselves, we hold on to plans, we hold on to these things because we're scared of what life looks like without them. But sometimes God has something better for you, and you can't receive it because your hands are still full of what He told you to release. You can't hold on to yesterday and fully step into what God has for tomorrow. Sometimes the reason something ended doesn't mean God failed you. Sometimes it ended because it served its purpose, and I know that's hard to accept. And you might still miss that person. You might still wish that situation worked out. You might still be asking God to bring something back. But sometimes God is protecting you from something you keep asking Him to give back. That's why we have to learn to pray. God, if it's not your will for me, give me the strength to let it go. Because not everything you want is something you need. And not every closed door is a rejection. Sometimes a closed door is protection. You may not understand it today, but one day you might look back and realize, God, thank you for not giving me what I asked for. Number 3, God is teaching you patience. The third thing God may be trying to teach you is patience. And honestly, this might be one of the hardest lessons, because we live in a world where everything is instant. If you want food, you order it. You want something, you buy it. You want entertainment, it's right there. But God doesn't operate according to our timeline. You can pray today and still have to wait. You can work hard today and still not see the results tomorrow. You can do everything right and still have to walk through a waiting season. And that's frustrating, because we want to know, God, when? When will it happen? When will I meet that person? When will I get that opportunity? When will my finances change? When will my life finally look different? But sometimes God isn't saying no, He's saying not yet. And not yet can be one of the hardest answers to receive. But think about this. If God gave you everything you wanted in the exact same moment you wanted it, would you actually be prepared to handle it? Sometimes the waiting isn't punishment. The waiting is preparation. God may be developing your character before He develops your circumstances. He may be teaching you discipline before He gives you a greater responsibility. He may be teaching you patience before He gives you the thing you've been praying for. So don't despise the waiting season. Just because nothing seems to be happening doesn't mean nothing is happening. Roots grow underground before you ever see the tree above the surface. And maybe that's where you're at right now, underground. Nobody sees the growth, nobody sees the work, nobody sees what God is doing. But that doesn't mean you're not growing. Number 4, God is teaching you who you really need. The fourth thing God may be trying to teach you is who actually belongs in your life. And sometimes God will reveal that through separation. You might have people who you've known for years suddenly disappear. People you thought who would always be there might walk away. And at first you're hurt. You're asking God, why did you let them leave? But sometimes you have to stop asking why they left and start asking, what is God trying to show you? Because not everyone who starts a journey with you is supposed to finish it with you. Some people are there for a